Today we are going to help Sean here answer the question, what is an apartment syndication? Before we get to the answer, let's first consider a couple other ways apartments can be purchased. Let's imagine Sean found a 12-unit, $1 million property. Sean could pay all cash for the property, but this requires him to have $1 million sitting around and is not leveraging good debt. Unless he is a multimillionaire, he'll be waiting a while to save up enough to purchase another property. Sean could also finance it and put, say, 30% or $300,000 down and let the lender pay the rest for the property. This is a viable option as it does not require as much cash and it utilizes leverage, which is good. But for most people, having enough capital to scale up from there would be a limiting factor. These methods could also be done with a partner or two in a joint venture. But what if Sean wanted to go bigger? How about 10 times bigger? Now Sean is looking at a 120-unit, $10 million property that could require up to $3 million down. So how is he going to purchase this property? With a syndication. Think of a syndication as a group purchase. So Sean brings on a couple partners to help him with the deal. This group of people are known as the GPs or general partners, also known as syndicators or deal sponsors. After getting the deal under contract, the GPs will then raise the down payment as well as any other funds needed for initial capital expenditures and reserves. They will do this by offering investors the opportunity to invest in the deal, while ensuring the projected returns as well as the risks involved are understood. The GPs will also be sure to follow SEC laws when raising capital, which we'll discuss in another episode. This group of investors are known as the LPs, or limited partners, also known as passive investors. They are passive because their role ends when they fund the deal. An LLC is formed for the property, and an operating agreement, as well as other SEC-compliant legal documents, are drafted that clearly define the structure of the company and the profit split between the GPs and LPs. The GPs finance the property by getting a loan from an agency, such as Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac, or a bank in some cases, and the purchase of the property is complete, but the GP's work is far from over. If the LPs are considered passive investors, the GPs are considered active investors because they maintain an active role throughout the holding period of the asset. Because of the extra work the GPs do to find, underwrite, perform due diligence, fund, communicate with investors, and asset manage the deal, they get a larger share of the profits. After operating expenses are paid and the lender gets their share, the remaining cash flow is distributed amongst the LPs and GPs, typically monthly or quarterly. Usually the apartment will be held for around 5 years, sometimes a little shorter, sometimes a little longer. Upon sale of the property, if things went as planned, a large profit will be made, and the portion that remains after paying the principal balance and other closing fees will again be divided between the LPs and GPs based upon the percentage initially agreed upon. Then what? Well, you do it again. This has been a basic, high-level explanation of how an apartment syndication works. In later learning sessions, we'll discuss how apartments are valued, diving deep into NOI and cap rate. Then we'll explore how we can directly affect the value of our properties. We will also discuss some of the crucial pieces of due diligence that an LP should perform before investing in a GP's deal. Until next time, be blessed.